podcast. As you can see, I'm taping today's episode inside my classic Mini, Sadie, also known as Guinness. Guinness, just like the stout brewed in Dublin, Ireland, fine drink, black on the bottom, white on top, just like my Mini is white on top. Even the headliner is white. The inside's black, the wheel's black, the body's black. Actually, not Sadie's color was kind of a coffee brown, maybe more like a cappuccino, had some milk in it. Before that, it's kind of a maroon red. I'm not really sure what the official Mini name is, but it's a nice maroon color. Sadie has since been upgraded. She's a 1964 Austin Mini, Cooperized actually. Started off as one of the cheaper models, has since had an interior redone, has a reshell to this Mark III type body style, has a new 1275 fuel injected engine, easy to maintain. I added a radio, some speakers. The doors are external mounted hinges on the original. On the newer body styles, they're internally mounted. It's a big difference you can see. And in the grille style, Sadie has an internal bonnet release that's been added, so it's easy to pop the bonnet. There goes the bonnet. The grille accommodates for that in the earlier models, where there's a hole spacer where you would stick your hand in to pop the bonnet open. And once you get an internal bonnet release, you can get one that goes fully across. A little ashtray. Some people put a clock there. She has a nice, not air conditioning, but she has a fan, which basically takes heat from the engine and blows it into the car so you can stay warm. Now, if it's too warm, well, you have natural air conditioning in the form of windows that roll up and down. In the earlier body style, you had sliding windows. Instead of having an actual door latch that you pull open, they had a kind of a piece of string that you pulled on and tugged, and that triggered the door to open. Let's see, we have seat belts. We have pop-out windows in the back. I have a rear window defroster. I have a parking brake. I have two fans. One's the mechanical fan. Engine gets kind of hot. There's a second fan, electrical one, that can be automatically triggered, but I have a switch which basically turns it on and off. Horn has been slightly upgraded from a groaning sound to a small beep. But enough about my Mini. This is my podcast after all. I am going to be talking about both Minis, the classic and the new Mini, who's Mindy, who you've yet to meet officially. I apologize for the background here. We are in my garage as well. It's a pretty secluded, quiet place amidst the sound of the heating unit behind me and people, neighbors, etc. Going by. Hopefully that won't be picked up by my omnidirectional eyesight mic here. But we'll see, as this is my first podcast. Gonna work some bugs out. So before I bore you to death, let me move on to some other things and open this Guinness here. Nothing I like better than a fine ale at the end of a day. Sorry everybody making you thirsty watching this thing. Right then. If you saw my original podcast, episode 0, you saw some footage of me driving on a road with a bunch of Minis, and that was the Laguna Seca Heritage Garage and 7 Enterprises 2005 Mini Challenge at Laguna Seca. Also have some shout-outs in no particular order except those presented. Phil Wick's Golden Jubilee, also Laguna Seca. I was there in attendance with my new Mini. Apple Store, Burlingame, and San Francisco, where I have bought iLife and iSight camera, my PowerBook, everything that I do my podcast with. NorCal Mini's new Mini Club, Mini Owners of America, San Francisco chapter, where I had the idea to even start a podcast. And the fine folks at Guinness. Hope you don't sue me for using your product on my podcast. Mini factoid, the Red Bull can here will fit over the ignition coil in your Mini. Classic Mini, not the new Mini, but it looks pretty cool on a classic Mini, I think. I wanted to mention one book that's really crucial to classic Mini owners. It's Complete Classic Mini by Rees. It's mentioned by Mini Paul over in his minipaul.co.uk mini podcast for the classic Mini. Excellent book, has a good smattering of history for the classic Mini, what the different variations in the models are, how to tell some of the different grills and badging, take a look at your Mini, look at the interior. So a lot of different good stuff in this book here. Covers all the popular and not so well known variations of Mini, the pickup, which you see here with the tailgate down, the Rolls Royce of the Mini World, the Riley Elf, a limited run mini cabrio or convertible. The Countryman, also known as a mini traveler, which is the concept that they're currently working on, hopefully coming out with for the folks who like bigger cars. Clubman, the Moke, which was actually produced from 64 to 93, though we don't see too many of them in the local mini clubs. They're a fun car, a nice open design there, kind of like the military edition mini, if you will. And some strange international versions like the Alessandro di Tommaso, revamped sort of Innocenti Cooper, I guess you could call it. And of course the prototype would eventually became the new BMW Cooper. Or I should say BMW Mini, but Cooper is the sort of the moniker that's on most of the models. I know the folks at White Roof Radio don't like to say Mini Cooper. They say it's a Mini, it's not a Mini Cooper Club, and it's not a Mini Cooper car, like really Mini. But that's another episode. Let's move on to another little segment that I did, where a few more minutes into the mini podcast, you're probably itching for something with a bit more action than looking at my mug here. So here we go. about all the time I have for this episode. Thanks for watching StarLord's mini podcast, and see you next edition. Bye bye.